Olá pessoal, no último post da aba comunidade aqui do meu canal no YouTube, eu estou informando que eu tive problemas com o YouTube a respeito deste vídeo, e então por isso eu fui obrigado a cortar um trecho desse vídeo do minuto 11:43 ao 15:39. Olá pessoal, vamos à parte 8 da série Mestres e Controladores da Mia Kimberly. Antes de começar, eu quero avisar que eu tive um problema com o programa que eu uso para inserir as legendas. E esse problema fez com que uma parte do vídeo ficasse com a legenda em amarelo e a outra parte com a legenda em branco. E isso aconteceu porque eu testei um novo programa para colocar a legenda e em determinada parte do vídeo ele não estava mais conseguindo sincronizar a legenda com o áudio. Com isso eu tive que retornar ao programa que eu usava anteriormente para inserir as legendas. Por isso eu peço desculpas a vocês, mas eu garanto que o resultado final está aceitável. Vamos começar então.
Hi guys, thanks for watching Mia's new pair of glasses.com and welcome to part 8, Divide, Distract, Control, and Conquer in the Masters and Controllers series. Think about how you feel now, knowing the MCO is in our very near future. Think about what that knowledge has done to the things you used to care about, what you used to think was important, and how it has affected your priorities now. Are you still concerned with environmental issues? Still worried about saving the trees? Still worried about illegal aliens, abortion, endangered species, and environmental issues, or civil rights equality? Still worried about saving for retirement? Or artificial intelligence, the long-term effects of cell towers and EMF, and chemtrails? That is exactly why they put so much effort into hiding this secret. They cannot control a population of slaves when they find out the truth about the MCO, and even lose more control when the slaves finally see through all the tactics used by the controllers to hide its existence. Knowing about the MCO should give you laser focus. All of a sudden, their tactics should become clear. You can throw out 99% of the crap that is promoted. Knowing the world you really live in helps you determine truth from the bullshit. When you understand the answer to the question about what the ultimate secret is, you understand why everything is done. Since they are trying to hide the existence of a reoccurring catastrophe and keep evidence of it hidden, they must divide and distract the slaves by any means necessary. How would they do that? Number 1, push the slaves' emotional buttons. They constantly create and promote emotionally charged topics to rope people in to take their time, attention, and energy. After all, a slave that thinks the world will continue to go on as usual with no major catastrophes will get sucked into causes that wouldn't matter to them as much if they knew the truth about the imminent MCO.
What I saw on the ship, it was just terrible inside. The severity of the suffering animals were going from, I could not, tolerate that. I was unable to keep it to myself only. They are densely packed and only the stronger animal gets access to the food and water.
Number 2, divide the slaves. They push people's emotional buttons by promoting coverage of the most controversial topics to create division among people. A population divided is a population that cannot rise up against their oppressors. These ever-present topics in the public eye cause arguments, frustration, and gain people's attention. Attention that could be used to discover the biggest secret ever.
The thing that I'm saying about Brooke is that there's misinformation, okay? And she doesn't understand the history of psychiatry. She doesn't understand in the same way that you don't understand it, man.
But a little bit what you're saying, Tom, is you say you want people to do well, but you want them to do well by taking the road that you approve of, as opposed to a road that may work for them.
No. No, I'm not.
Well, if antidepressants work for Brooke Shields, why isn't that okay?
I disagree with it. And I think that there's a higher and better quality of life. And I think that promoting, for me personally, so you're saying, what, I can't discuss what I want to discuss?
No, you absolutely
I know,
can.
But Matt, you're going in and saying that I can't discuss that.
I'm only asking, isn't there a possibility that, do you examine the possibility that these things do work for some people? That yes, there are abuses. And yes, maybe they've gone too far in certain areas. Maybe there are too many kids on Ritalin. Maybe electric shock is...
kids on Ritalin? That...
I'm just saying, but aren't there examples where it works?
Matt, you don't even... You're glib. You don't even know what Ritalin is. If you start talking about chemical imbalance, you have to evaluate and read the research papers on how they came up with these theories, Matt. Okay? That's what I've done. And you go and you say, where's the medical test? Where's the blood test that says how much Ritalin you're supposed to get?
It's very impressive to listen to you, because clearly you've done the homework and you know the subject.
And you should. And you should do that also, because just knowing people who are on Ritalin isn't enough. You should be a little bit more responsible in knowing
I'm
really...
not prescribing Ritalin, Tom, and I'm not asking anyone else to do it.
Well,
I'm
you are.
simply
You're
saying
no,
I know some people who seem to have been helped by it.
But you're saying, but it's like, this is a very important issue.
This is couldn't agree more.
And you know what? And you're here on the Today Show,
right?
And to talk about it in a way of saying, well, isn't it okay, and being reasonable about it when you don't know, and I do.
Tom Cruise was set up to look like a crazy nut Scientologist, and then used as a poster boy to argue against psychiatric pharmaceuticals, to sway people towards supporting Big Pharma meds, so Big Pharma comes out on top. Just like Brooke Shields was used as a poster girl for the, quote, successful use of medications to support the sale of Big Pharma medications. Also use this in politics. Every political party, politician, and their positions on key controversial topics are also created, scripted, and promoted by the controllers. Arguing and trying to convince people of your point of view wastes serious time, so they keep the population eternally arguing. Every hot button topic covered in the media is to divide people, consume focus and attention, and waste time and energy. They and their puppets are all sides of every promoted controversial topic. Number 3, waste time and energy. They create the environmental and animal rights movements. Some of you might remember the documentary The Cove.
I do want to say that we try to do the story legally.
There it is. A little town with a really big secret. It's so bizarre what's going on over here.
When we first got in the country, we had no idea who was following us.
You think they know we're here?
We didn't know if it was the whalers, the Japanese mafia.
Somebody's behind me. I don't know who that is. They don't like me. They don't like my message.
Rick is world famous for his work with dolphins.
I feel somewhat responsible because it was the Flipper TV series that created this multi-billion-dollar industry. The dolphin smile is nature's greatest deception. It creates the illusion they're always happy. You realize after a while they don't really belong in captivity.
I'd never seen so many dolphins before.
The Japanese people don't even know about it.
They take the boats around to the secret cove that nobody could see.
They're afraid of cameras. They said if the world finds out what goes on here, we'll be shut down.
They were hiding something.
We need to get in there and film exactly what happens. We need to know the truth.
We needed people with a special set of skills to implement this mission.
They're behind me.
Let's go.
Good luck.
Underwater camera is set.
They're not being told that the free lunch meat that their children are getting are contaminated.
Let it not be said that you didn't know about it. You know about it.
If we can't fix that, there's no hope.
Okay, there's a flashlight. The guards are moving.
Get out of there. Get out of there now.
It takes a lot of money to make a documentary, and it takes the right people to promote it so it even makes it to your TV. Why do you think documentaries about animal cruelty get made? Why do you think so many videos about chicken farms and cow factories make it to mainstream television? Knowing now who is delivering it to you? To make you angry and to get you involved emotionally, financially, and energetically. When a slave gets involved in a cause, that's the less time they'll be paying attention to their world and seeking real answers. Number 4, create and control it all. Many of you may remember my decoding of the movie Snowpiercer. The link can be found on my YouTube content page. I highly recommend watching this film. And spoiler alert, we're going to watch a revealing clip from the end of this movie. They are the oppressor and the oppressed. They are the right and the left. They are the conservatives and the liberals and anywhere in between. They are the revolutionaries and the dictators that create them. They control it all. Number 5. Give the slaves false hope of real change. They are the ones that create and promote the atrocities to make sure the slaves see it.
James Allen has collected a photographic record of racial violence in the South. For the past 20 years, he's found horrifying pictures in the family albums of ordinary Southern homes. Many are postcards that were mass-produced as souvenirs.
Some of these images were printed in the tens of thousands and sold for a dime or $1 a piece. Some of the postcards tell you where to write and the discounts you'll get if you buy 1, 10, or 100. They were sold in drugstores and pharmacies. They were sold on the street. I purchased a photograph from a woman.
They provide the civil rights figures, all under their control from the start, and create entire movements to give the illusion that real change is possible, and there are those who rise up against the system and win, instead of waiting for the slaves to rise up on their own on issues that they figure out are important. They create and steer the causes. When you understand human nature as well as they do, and they know that humans want to believe they are free, you give the illusion that the world is not under complete control. Because they create the illusion that we are free, they also control every civil and human rights movement and their leaders from the very beginning. None of these civil and human rights movements are authentic, but the slaves fall right into the trap and are completely guided by the controllers who started the movements. Everything we are exposed to and taught about is scripted. That also means famous public figures and controversial topics throughout, quote, history. All, and I mean all, civil rights movements, revolutions, debates, controversies, and the groups on both sides that we are taught about are scripted, spun, and initialized and controlled by the controllers. Any historical figure that appears in the history books is under the controller's control. They are a puppet, and the narrative is 100% scripted. Why do you think they actually made it into the history books and are taught about in schools? So how do we know that these civil rights leaders were actually just puppets? To be a civil rights leader that gets any kind of following, you must be financially backed. Yes, it costs a lot of money. You must be promoted by the media. How else do you think they made it onto TV when you know now who has control over what is aired from the beginning? Organizing a large group of people is hard. Think of how tough it is just to organize and make decisions among a small group of different personalities. You must have a very skillful organizing team. Yes, it takes a team of professionals who know what they are doing. How do you think Martin Luther King got the popularity and the exposure he got? That's right, the controllers. Any real group of regular people that authentically has tried to organize, they take down before it gains any traction. Remember Waco, Texas?
If you fly low over North Texas today, it's easy to pass right over the site of one of the most horrific events in recent American history. A 51-day siege by U.S. law enforcement, with deadly gun battles, terror from the air, and a raging inferno that left more than 75 people dead, including many women and children. But in 1993, stories started spreading that Koresh was sexually abusing young girls and that the group was stockpiling illegal weapons. So the U.S. government decided to take action. On February 28, 1993, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms raided the compound. The Branch Davidians responded with gunfire and quickly killed 4 agents. Inside the buildings, Koresh and his followers hunkered down, refusing to surrender. The siege continued for 51 days before coming to a terrifying end. On April 19th, the FBI tried to force the Branch Davidians out with tear gas, but the compound suddenly erupted into flames.
Remember, they controlled the narrative. But what Waco, Texas was really about was taking down a community of people who were not under the guidance and control of the controllers. The big, positively viewed movements we know about were there because they wanted them there. The deception is that civil rights and environmental groups are infiltrated by the CIA, just like Hollywood was supposedly infiltrated by the CIA. The real story is that there is no need to infiltrate something that they created. It is no different within the truth community on YouTube. If they are successful, they are pushed. If they are pushed, they serve the controller's plan. And it's what they want out there. Anyone speaking against the narrative they want will be bought off, eliminated, or hushed. I will say it again. Nothing we have been presented with is as it seems. Are you starting to see it yet? If you know your enemy and yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. The controllers know their enemy. Do you? That's all I have for you guys today. Everybody stay safe, be good to one another, and God bless.